Good evening, everyone. My name is Greg Anderson, and this is going to be a presentation of the Brisbane Baylands Final EIR online browsable and searchable version overview. These documents were converted from the original PDFs into a format that hopefully will be a little bit easier for people to read. The original PDFs are also available, but they are a little bit cumbersome to use due to the limitations of the PDF technology. So the HTML versions are a little bit more lightweight. So the first thing I want to describe is where you can find these. If you go to the Brisbane City website at brisbaneca.org, you can see right on the front page under City News, the last visible item currently reads Brisbane Final EIR. And if you navigate through here, you will come to the Brisbane Final EIR page, and from there you will see that we have a searchable version, an online browsable version, and an offline browsable zip file available for your use. Now first I'll give you a little overview about what these different three versions are like, and then we'll look at them in a little more detail. The searchable final version of the EIR is a single page document where the entire contents of the EIR appear in one very large HTML document. If you click on this link, you're going to want to leave your computer alone for a long time, because this is a very large document. It'll take your browser a long time to load it all onto the page. And if you start interacting with it before it's done, it will be slow, and it may even decide to stop loading the page. So just wait for it to stop spinning. The advantage of the searchable PDF is that you can use the browser's find function to look for words inside of the EIR, which should make it easier for you to find all occurrences of certain words. The other alternative available is the online browsable version, which is available at this link. The online browsable version has one web page for every page in the EIR. And the advantage of this is that you can quickly flip from one page to another and follow the hyperlinks. So this is the best version to read if you would like to read comments on the DEIR and see the answers and go back and forth between them using the hyperlinks. If you wish to use these documents offline, that is entirely possible. For the searchable version, once the entire file is open in your browser, you can go up to the file window and save it to your disk directly. But that technique wouldn't work very well for the browsable version because there are so many different pages. And that is why we have the offline browsable zip file also offered. If you click on this link, it will download the zip file. If you unzip it onto your hard drive, you can open up one of the pages from the resulting unpacked distribution, and you will have the entire browsable FEIR available at your fingertips. So let's take a look at the browsable version first. When you click on the link on the Brisbane City website, you will first be brought to the cover page, and you will see the main contents of each page is plain text. It's selectable and it is searchable, but only on the one single page. In the upper left-hand corner, there is a small little thumbnail that shows what the scanned portions of the page look like. And if you click on that, you will see the graphical portions of the page without the text. We'll hit the back button. Now the reason these are separated is that many of the pages in the FEIR are scanned. And in the case of a scanned document, the exact scan image of all of the words will appear in the thumbnail graphic version of the page, and also the OCR, or the computer readable searchable text, also appears. And if these two images are shown at the same time, the effect is sort of like blurry offset text. You see every letter twice, and it's very difficult to read. So for that reason, I removed all of the background images, but I left it available up here in case there's a figure or a diagram you wanted to see. Due to space constraints, if you are using the searchable version, you won't see the images at all, so you'll have to come back to the browsable version in order to see any sort of image. Now, at the top of every page on the browsable FEIR, you'll see that there is a navigation bar. It has some identical controls on both the left and the right, and also a jump link and a table of contents link. Now, the first control I want to show you is the previous and next arrows, the single arrows. These will advance you one page at a time through each section. When you get to the end of a section, the next arrow is grayed out, and similarly, you can use the previous arrow to go back. When you get to the first page of a section, then the previous arrow is grayed. Now, if these were the only 3 pages in the FEIR, that would be kind of a short document. So when you get to the end of a section, you can use the double arrows, which will advance you to the beginning of the next section. And the second section in the Browsable EIR is the table of contents, which is also reachable at any time by clicking on the TOC link up here on the top of the page. Now, the table of contents itself, you can scroll through it and you will see a description of all of the different sections of the FEIR, such as the project location and the overview. These are divided into sections and subsections. And along the right here are the page numbers of all of the pages of the FEIR that correspond with the sections in the table of contents. So if you would like to visit any given page, such as the beginning of the list of comment letters received from organizations, you just click on one of the hyperlinked dotted red underline, and you will go straight to that page. You can use your browser back button to go back to where you were, and so on. Now you'll notice that, again, the table of contents is displayed page by page. So you scroll down just a little ways, and you're all out of page numbers. It only goes to page 2.4.24. But there's more in the table of contents. If you just click the next arrow, you'll see that there is a continuation of pages because there are quite a few sections in this document that's rather large. So I'm going to show you some other features by flipping forward to another part of the FEIR. A very large portion of this document consists of the recorded list of questions sent in about the DEIR and the responses to each of those questions. Now here in section 2.7, we can see that this is the section on individual responses to comments from special districts. So if we would like to see the comments from the Modesto Irrigation District, we can click on this page, and we will see here that the answers to the Modesto Irrigation District are listed here, and each answer starts with an identifier here on the left-hand side of the page. This says MID-1, that means Modesto Irrigation District, question number 1, and then a note that says, see page 542 for the original comment. If we click on one of these links, we are going to go to the referenced page, and here we can see the letter from the Modesto Irrigation District. Now, in the case of the original questions and comments, you'll notice that there are numbers on the right-hand side of the page. These numbers are a little bit easier to understand if we look at the original image. You can see on the original image there are these dark lines that were not transferred over in the OCR, plus a dotted square around the number. So this indicates that this part of the letter is question number 1 from the Modesto Irrigation District. And if we click on that number 1, then we're going to go back to the page that has the answer for the Modesto Irrigation District question or comment number 1. So you can see that these go both ways. You can either start reading through the comments and flip across to the answers, or vice versa. You may also find it useful to use your standard browser features, such as if you right-click on a link, you might want to open the question in a new tab or a new window so that you can just close it when you're done, or keep them open side by side, whatever is most useful for your browsing. Now, I've shown you most of the buttons in the toolbar, except I have not yet shown you the Go button. The Go button gives you a way to quickly jump between pages inside of one section. Rather than pressing forward or back many times, you can just click on Go and jump ahead to page 6. Page 6 happens to not be very interesting, but we have random access to every part of the document. So finally, I'm going to show you the searchable version, which I opened in advance because this takes a long time to open, as I mentioned before. So you have to be patient until it's all done loading. And then once you have the whole thing, you can just scroll through it, and you will see that we've got our table of contents. And once again, it is hyperlinked. We can click on these links to go to different parts of the document. But the main advantage of the searchable FEIR over the browsable is that you can use the browser's search function to find different words that appear in different parts of the document, since it all appears in one giant page. So in this case, I want to look for occurrences of the word spur to see if I can find comments on the rail spur. And I can just step through it, and we see that the Brisbane Citizens Committee question number 26 had a comment about the spur, and the answer says that the spur track serving the existing lumber yard is proposed to be moved. And if we look at the original comment, we're looking for BCC 26. If we look for the original comment, okay, some of these links go to the wrong place. Let's try this one. No. Let's try the next one. No. Well darn. Well, most of the links work. I apologize for using an example that did not work well. Usually 5162. 5162. Oh, that is the right page. Okay, my mistake. I was disoriented for a moment. Well, in any event, that is the extent of the features of the searchable and browsable FEIR. So if you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me. And that's a wrap.